itself. We say that there's only one God worthy of worship. That all conceptions of God, other than the Islamic ones, if you look at the 6 major world religions, are actually incompatible with logic and incompatible with the predisposition. Number one.
Hello, people. This is Socrates' son. I will continue to try to refute. Mohammed Hijab. Okay, let's see your arguments, please.
Number 2, we say that, look, the Quran itself has falsification challenges. It actually says if you believe that this book is from other than God, then please try and find it, or you would have found in it many contradictions. لَوَجِدُ فِي اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا.
So there's shown many of them.
Challenge there to try and find contradictions in the Quran.
I have falsified the Quran on very high levels.
Do it now. That's fine.
What? What? Find many contradictions. You must be out of your mind, my friend. Okay, so Islam disproven then. Because, sorry for being the one who breaks that to you, the Quran has more contradictions than all the books in human history. It has so many contradictions, Mohammed Hijab, my dear friend, that it needs other books to make sense. It's a book with so many contradictions that it's unreadable. Look at what this guy said. I mean, look, guys, verse 1, chapter 1, the first words of the Quran. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, contradiction. Okay, 5 words. What 5 words? The Quran couldn't say 5 words without contradicting itself. In the name of Allah, the entire contradiction. God damn it. What entirely merciful, my friend? He burns people for eternity for non-crimes. For nothing. What entirely merciful? He's entirely unmerciful. Moreover, look, hear this, guys. Okay, hear this. Inside the Quran, it says what to do with all the contradictions. You use abrogation. So inside the miracle of non-contradictions, it tells you what to do with all the contradictions. We do not abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, except that we bring forth one better than it or similar to it. Do you not know Allah is over all things competent? Allah waited for eternity and he was thinking what to say. Okay, he was thinking one eternity. He was thinking. The first 1 billion years was difficult. The next passes easier. He said something, and after a couple of months, he changed his mind. Look what they believe. He says, for example, to one tribe of some Arabs in some desert. Okay, he says, you should do muta. And after a couple of months, no, you shouldn't do muta. This is what they believe actually happened. Oh, Mohammed Hijab, you had a good start. Please continue.
The inimitability challenge is to try and produce something like the Quran, which means that it has to go within the scope of, it has to do exactly what the Quran has done, which includes, by the way, telling the future, because the Quran speaks explicitly about future events, like chapter 30, verses 1 to 6.
And it is relevant.
And yes, in many other places of the Quran, like chapter 24, verses 55 and onwards.
So yes, it is relevant.
Explicitly about future events. And it does so accurately, even according to Western philosophers.
He says the Quran contains prophecies. Let's see the verse he mentioned. The Byzantines have been defeated in the nearest land, but they, after the defeat, will overcome. Within 3 to 9 years, to Allah belongs the command before and after, and that day the believers will rejoice.
Read carefully with me, guys. On the day of Badr, the Roman had victory over the Persian, so the believers were pleased with that. Then the following was revealed. Have you ever heard a prophecy coming about the past? Did you notice? Guys, do you understand what I'm saying? When the verse was revealed, the verse revealed after the Roman, they've been victorious. Okay, so what is the prophecy?
So the prophecy that made you a Muslim and so confident that you think the world should be a Nazi dictatorship. The prophecy that made you so confident that you say things like apostates should be executed was revealed after the fact, as your sources say.
And this is sahih, by the way. They cannot say this is something, false, and he's making things up.
So first you became a Muslim because the Quran hasn't got contradictions. The book with more contradictions than all the books in human history, literally, okay? If you ask me, what is the book that has more contradictions than all the books in human history, I will say the Quran. A book that contains inside the same book what to do with all the contradictions. Okay, you became a Muslim because that book is a miracle of non-contradictions. And after you became a Muslim because of a prophecy that your own sources say that it was revealed after the fact.
The scientific mistakes
Now,
of the Quran.
what I'm saying to you is, if number one, you said that you found contradictions in it. So my challenge to you now is to try and find a contradiction.
Do you think the stars? Do you think the stars are missiles thrown at devils, for example?
Well, chapter 67, verses 1 to 5. Where it says, وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءِ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحَ وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينَ. First of all, it says, if this is your strongest argument, let me answer it.
No, it's not.
Well,
I will not make my strongest argument.
Argument.
I'm throwing rocks at you. I want you to answer this.
Okay,
Since we're not
fine.
abiding by rules.
No problem.
Go ahead.
وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينَ وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءِ الدُّنْيَا. So the Quran says in chapter 60, I think verse 3 or 4, 67, sorry.
5,
It says,
67, 5, I believe.
Yeah, 67, 5. وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءِ الدُّنْيا بِمَصَابِيحَ. We have certainly adorned the heavenly realm with stars. وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينَ. And we have made it a pelting thing for the devils. Now, what is, first of all, masabih? So there's a difference of opinion. Some they say it's meteorite, some they say stars. And says, رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينَ. And we have made it as a pelting things for the devils. So it's saying that devils, because if you look at chapter 37 of the Quran and other parts in the very first 5 verses, you'll find that the Sama' dunya, or the heavenly realm, is adorned with stars, has many functionalities of them to try and find your way, as the Quran says, of them so it can go around in orbits, as the Quran says. And by the way, the Quran says in chapter 25 that there are many suns, because it says, تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ فِي السَّمَاءِ بُرُوجًا.
No, it does not.
Pardon?
What does it say that?
Yeah, it says in chapter 25, تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ فِي السَّمَاءِ بُرُوجًا وَجَعَلَ فِيهَا سُرُجًا munira. There's two qira'ahs. One qira'ah says sirajan munira and surujan munira. So
what chapter, what verse?
I can't remember the verse here, but this you can just check it. Chapter 25.
That is most definitely untrue.
Well, I've just quoted it in the Arabic, so you can. Why is it most definitely untrue? I've just told you in the Arabic.
You made a claim that the Quran recognizes that the sun is a star. No, it doesn't. The complete opposite. The Quran makes a distinction between the sun and the stars. The Quran doesn't know that the sun is a star in many, many verses. But let's go to the chapter you mentioned. Okay, guys, this is the verse this guy is referring to. First of all, I had to read the chapter. Endless stupidity. Okay. As I was reading the chapter, I was feeling literal pain from the stupidity of this book. A person that reads this book and thinks it's from God, I don't know what to say. I don't know. Okay, I will make a video reading this chapter. Guys, endless stupidity and hate. Endless. Okay? But look the verse. This guy said this. There is a verse in the Quran that God recognizes the sun is a star. And look what the verse says, the complete opposite, in other words. Blessed is he who has placed in the sky great stars and placed therein a lamp and luminous moon. Mohammed Hijab, this verse says the complete opposite of what you claim. What is going on, my friend?
Because I don't know the verse number. Sorry, I don't know the verse numbers. I haven't memorized the verse numbers. I've memorized the Arabic. So تبارك الذي جعل في السماء بروجا وجعل فيها there's two qira'ahs. One of them is Siraj Munira and there's another one Suraj Munira. The Siraj Munira means a shining lamp, and Suraj Munira means many stars. So a shining lamp means a star, and many suns, one sun and many suns. So in other words, the Quran says that there are many suns. The cosmic picture of the Quran, therefore, is that there are many suns, many solar systems.
Where the fuck do you get that from? Where the fuck do you get that from? What? What? Okay, let's read the verse again. Okay, first of all, the whole chapter is an endless unscientific stupidity. Okay, the next video, I will read you the chapter. Then you get to a verse that says this. Blessed is he who has placed in the sky great stars and placed therein a burning lamp, a luminous moon. And this guy reads this and concludes, the Quran recognizes the sun is a star and there are solar systems. Solar systems? Really? Really, eh? That verse says that there are solar systems? Wow. Po. The distraction this book did to your mind is in limits nuclear bomb. A nuclear bomb. Look what the Quran did to this guy's mind.
Because suns are accompanied with solar systems, and that they have many functionalities. Of them, there is a metaphysical thing which we can't see, which is that the Quran, that the stars or the celestial spheres, they actually pelt the devils or the jinn, because we believe in this this creation called the jinn. We haven't created the jinn and the human beings except they worship it. So these celestial bodies actually pelt them. How can you falsify that? I don't see the issue.
You don't see the issue in this. Comets are demons' missiles. Okay, let's see how a human sees the sky. Okay, he sees the sky. That seems like a star. So it is a star. And it seems like a missile. But God sending missiles for what? Shooting what? Demons, obviously. Now let's go to reality. Is this a star? No. Stars are a sun. These are just rocks hitting our Earth's atmosphere. 7th century Arabs looked in the sky and saw a phenomenon. They made an explanation. The most simple explanation first came to mind of a child. That, wow, this seems like a star. Yes, it is a star. And it's moving, therefore it's like a missile. But wait just a moment, we have a missile. What God is hitting with a missile? Angels? Not. Obviously demons. Okay, so we have the most primitive, simple-minded explanation of a natural phenomenon. And it just happens the simplest explanation a primitive person could have imagined is actually the truth. The truth. So wait just a moment. A primitive person looking in the sky cannot separate comets from stars. They look the same. So it just happens God also cannot separate stars with comets. You know what's an exact analogy? Is ancient Greeks thought thunder is a weapon of Zeus. And guess what? Thunder is in fact the weapon of Zeus. Of Zeus. Of Zeus. Of Zeus. Guess what? Thunder is in fact a weapon of Zeus, but we just cannot... What you said?
How can you falsify that? I don't see the issue.
How can you falsify that? In one case, thunder is the weapon of Zeus. In the other case, a comet is the weapon of Allah. It's exactly the same. Okay, it's an exact analogy. So the Quran saying that those are shooting stars, that's not true. Those are just rocks, okay, objects that hit our Earth's atmosphere. Okay, have you seen when a spacecraft goes into the atmosphere of Earth that it has fire? That's the phenomenon. So, according to the Quran, look where is heaven. This is a photograph taken from the Voyager spacecraft, Voyager 2, from inside our solar system. That means near. When I say near, very near. Okay. According to the Quran, heaven is stuck on this dot because God uses comets, that means objects that hit Earth, to drive away demons from hearing heaven's secrets. So heaven, according to your God, is stuck on this dot. Now, how many planets are there in the universe?
The visible universe contains around 100 billion galaxies. Each one of those galaxies contains around about 100 billion stars. That means the visible universe contains something like 10,000 million stars. That means there are more stars in the visible universe than there are grains of sand on the earth.
The universe contains more stars than grains of sand in this earth. Now, your claim is that heaven is stuck here in a grain of sand. And God says secrets near this grain of sand. Says his secrets like he needs to say his secrets. Okay, like his Lord of the Rings. God is in a palace and he says secrets. And a jinn from the Prince of Arabia fairy tale, a jinn from Prince of Arabia hears the secrets of God, and then God uses rocks driven randomly by gravity, and the jinn just happens to sit there and wait for the rock to hit him, not to hear God's secrets. My friend, that's as ridiculous as claiming the moon is made from cheese. Okay, it's the same claim. Why won't you believe the moon is made from cheese then? Thank God in Arabia there weren't any cheese with holes, because I'm sure the Quran would have contained now the moon is made from cheese.
But
Well,
the
you have
cosmological
to give me.
picture is not something which is seen as the cosmological picture of the Quran is not something which I would say is out of line with 21st century understandings.
Really? Really? What? 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 What did you say? Say that again, please.
But
Well,
the
you have
cosmological
to give me.
picture is not something which is seen as the cosmological picture of the Quran is not something which I would say is out of line with 21st century understandings.
Okay, let's see the cosmological picture of Islam. Okay, what do we see here? 7 heavens, 7 earths, a flat earth, 7 flat earths. On top, we have some invisible pillars, then 7 heavens, then a literal throne, then... What the hell are you talking about, Mohammed Hijab, my friend? Who says that? I mean, what you said now... Okay, you are insane, in other words. Let me call an ambulance. One moment, please. You hear? The phone. I'm calling an ambulance. 911. Please bring an ambulance. No, not in Greece, in UK. Ah, you cannot, eh? Oh, sorry, okay.
You have not given me any proof. It is a very big claim to claim that that the Quran actually describes many suns or many stars.
You just said it in chapter
I'll
5.
give
You
you
just said
one,
it.
I can
Why
get
don't you
the-
check?
Yeah,
You don't give me any proof.
I'll get it now. Sorry, let me just get a few now. But you remember, in the English, they won't. There's two qira'ahs, yeah. Tabarak alladhi ja'ala. So 1 second. Okay, good. This is verse
You just said it. I don't know. You got to look for it, but
verse 61, chapter 25, verse 61. So there's two qira'ahs. There's one qira'ah was glory be to the one who has made in the sky stars, yeah, and has made in it many suns. One yani sun. You know a sun?
You know the sun. You forgot to. Hey, you forgot to read the verse. What was the verse you said just now? Chapter 25, verse 61. Hey, that's the verse we read earlier. Let's see what this verse says. Blessed is he who has placed in the sky great stars and placed therein a burning lamp, referring to the sun, a luminous moon.
Like the sun and the moon. So made many suns. And the Quran, you know, here's my understanding of the Quran, the cosmology.
Made many suns. Let's read the verse again. Blessed is he who has placed in the sky great stars and placed therein a sun and luminous moon. That is what the verse actually says, Mohammed Hijab.
And the Quran, you know, here's my understanding of the Quran, the cosmology. You can interpret.
This is an outrageous claim. Every tafsir that I'm looking at, and including the modern and old translations, tell us that there are many constellations or stars in the sky, and that there is also a lamp.
Tabari says here, look,
a lamp and an illuminating moon, which refers to the sun and the moon. This is
but
this is a ridiculous claim.
It says it here. Look, I can read it to you if you want. It says, this is Tabari's tafsir. بروجا وجعل فيها سراجا يا اختلف القراء في قراءة ذلك فقراءة عامة قراء المدينة والبصرة وجعل فيها سراجا. So there's one way of saying it, which is سراجا على التوحيد. So that means one sun. That's what Tabari is saying. And the other ones say سروجا, yeah, وقمر منير, which means many suns. That's what Tabari says.
That's not what the Quran says. The Quran says, okay, guys, I will insist, although it's not significant, because previously Mohammed Hijab made this claim.
And, many sons, one son and many sons. So in other words, the Quran says that there are many sons. The cosmic picture of the Quran, therefore, is that there are many suns, many solar systems, because suns...
Let's read all the translations of this verse. Mohammed Assad. Hallowed is he who has set up in the skies great constellations and has placed among them a lamp and a light-giving moon. Pikhal. Blessed be he who had placed in the heaven mansions of the stars and hath placed therein a great lamp and a moon giving light. Yusuf Ali. Blessed is he who made constellations in the skies and placed therein a lamp and a moon giving light. Sakir. Blessed is he who made the constellations in the heavens and made therein a lamp and a shining moon. Wahibuddin Khan. Exalted is he who put constellations in the heavens, a radiant lamp and an illuminating moon. Dr. Lehit Bakhtir. Blessed be he who made constellations in the heavens and made in it a light-giving lamp and an illuminating moon. T.B. Irving. Blessed is the one who has placed constellations in the sky and set a beacon in it, plus a shining moon. The Clear Quran by Dr. Mustafa Khattat. Blessed is the one who has placed constellations in the sky as well as a radiant lamp and a luminous moon. So, Mohammed Hijab, you claim that this verse in the Quran proves that the Quran is scientifically accurate. Now that we know that this verse says the complete opposite of what you claimed, we can conclude, according to you, that the Quran is not scientifically accurate.
But you can't access tabari because it's in Arabic, so it's not in English.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is that the cosmological picture in the Quran is one which can be in line with 7th century Arabian unscientific, if you're going to call it that, unscientific understanding. But it can actually also be, and this is one of the arguments, another argument, it can actually also be in line with 21st century understandings of science.
No, it cannot. First of all, look what this buffoon just said.
Is one which can be in line with 7th century Arabian unscientific, if you're going to call it that, unscientific understanding. But it can actually also be, and this is one of the arguments, another argument, it can actually also be in line with 21st century understandings of science.
So the Quran can be in line with two contradictory claims. That means the Quran is incomprehensible, in other words. If the Quran can be in line with two contradictory claims, that means by definition, Mohammed Hijab, you just admitted the Quran is nonsense. This guy just left Islam. Okay, should I continue this video? This is how you won this interview, this debate. You won this debate, eh? Wow.
So the cosmological once again, the cosmological picture in the Quran, and this is one of the arguments for Islam being true. Because let me give you an example, right? You know, the Quran says, يكور الليل على النهار ويكور النهار على الليل وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري لأجل مسمى. Chapter 39 verse 5.
Chapter 39 verse 5, he says. Let's see. What's that chapter? He created the heavens and the earth in truth. He wraps the night over the day and wraps the day over the night, and has subjected the sun and the moon, each running its course for a specific term. Unquestionably, he is excelled in might. So, Mohammed Hijab, you take a verse that says nothing. That verse is not wrong or right. It's nothing. It's a nothing. Okay? And you say, look what you say, that a proof for Islam is that its cosmological picture is accurate. There is something monstrously wrong in your logic. Let me explain what that is. The level of claim you are making and the level of conviction you demand doesn't meet the level of evidence. You believe in Islam for laughable reasons, and the conviction you demand is something like, I want to make the world a Nazi dictatorship. I want to execute people. Why? Because the Quran is consistent with cosmology. You mean this?
Muhammad believed that there are 7 earths, all of them flat, stacked on top of each other like pancakes, except with a long distance between them. Out on the edge of the top earth, which is our earth, is a pool where the sun sets. There are also 7 heavens above the earths, and they're like domes that will fall on us if Allah doesn't hold them up. In the lowest heaven are the stars, which Allah uses to hurl at demons. And all of this is sandwiched between a giant fish at the bottom and 8 giant goats on top.
Where it says that he makes he talks about the sun, the moon, and that yukawwir. Yukawwir here means that he rolls the night into the day and he rolls the night into the day into the night. Ibn Hazm, and by the way, the Salaf, because there's a guy called Ibn Munada who's of the Tabi'i, he says this shows that the earth is round.
How is it round? I can give you like 10 verses clearly implying the earth is flat. Like we spread earth like a carpet. Like the sun has a stopping point. In other words, the reasons you believe in Islam are laughable. Laughable. You said the Quran hasn't got any contradictions. Laughable claim. Claim that can end you to a mental institute. You say that the Quran has an accurate description of cosmology. Laughable claim. Laughable. Mental institute kind of claim. You say that and the ambulance is on your door. And now, what is the level of conviction you demand with this kind of evidence?
Because people like you, little weaklings who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt, and we're proud of that. Yeah? Capital punish will be applied in an Islamic state. Yeah? Not individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots. Yeah? No. Under an emir, it is done, yes. And we, you know what, we'll be watching. We'll be watching. Because if you're going to cause corruption in the land, that's going to cause more damage to the society as a whole, because the Sharia didn't come to protect an individual's right. Hey, can I drink alcohol? Yeah, sure. Drink alcohol, run someone over, kill them, set all this kind of chaos. No, Islam says the right of the community is greater than you individual wanting your right to freedom, which is BS.
In other words, Mohammed Hijab, you read the Little Red Riding Hood and you want to enslave the world. That is what is happening right now. You read the Little Red Riding Hood and you think that gives you the authority to enslave the world, to execute people, to say that freedom is BS. Look, that is what's happening, Mohammed Hijab. Wake up, my friend. You make lectures against democracy and human rights because I read the Little Red Riding Hood. That is your argument in the real world.
Okay, this shows that the earth is round because takwir is when you wrap the night and the day around each other. Now, one easy argument I can make is the Quran, according to the Salaf, the early generations, the companions and those who came after them, according to those people, and Ibn Taymiyyah actually has a sanad, which is muttasil ila Ibn Munada, believe that the earth is round. Now, there are some people who say that the earth is flat. There are some scholars who say that, but there are the Salaf. There are some scholars from the early generations who say that the earth is round. Whereas if you look,
so the earth might be round, might be flat. Who knows? We will find out when your God learns how to speak, because a 6-year-old could have communicated that. If I bring my 6-year-old niece, he can say the earth is round. But the Quran, for some reason, we will never know. Hey, it might be round, might be flat. Now let's make the world a Nazi dictatorship. Because it might be round, might be flat, it might be... So how can we trust the Quran about anything if it cannot communicate whether the earth is round? How can we trust the Quran killing people? How you execute people, my friend, according to this book, when you clearly say that it cannot communicate anything? Hey, it might be round, it might be flat, it might be... Look, death for apostasy, some say yes, some say no. I think it can also be exile. Really? You are talking about executing people. Hey, might be that, who knows, maybe it might be, really? You are talking about executing people and you say, hey, yes. Look, some scholars say this, some scholars say the other. Some other scholars, their balls are itchy. But if you read that book in myself somewhere, in a secret shelf, apostates can be exiled instead of killing them.
This was Socrates' son. Thank you.